What's going on, people? Welcome to Football Carnage, and we are back with another Madrid hype for you guys right here on the channel. And I was hoping that I would wake up and that last night would have just been one very long, excruciating nightmare. I was hoping that what we witnessed yesterday at the Bernabeu in the second leg against Sociedad, I was hoping that that was an April Fool's joke. But apparently not, because today is the second, and I did pinch myself a couple of times. And yes, we actually did drop a shit defensive performance. But regardless of all the bullshit that we saw in that game, right, we still do have a lot of things to get into because there's so much news, right? We got some managerial stuff to talk about and also some transfer news looking towards the summer window. Look, big up the damn chat, man, every single time. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, right? Get in the live chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking about any of the topics that I get into. And if you catch me on playback after the stream ends, I will drop chapters so you guys can click around to listen to the parts of the video that you care about the most. But yeah, man, it's crazy. I'm not happy at all. It's like actually ridiculous how shit we were defensively, guys. Like it's a joke, bro. It's an absolute joke. 10 out of 10 April Fool's stream. I'm not sure what you mean, bro. Pray for Madrid. Facts, dog. Gotta pray for us. Because if we play like this, yo, the next few weeks, the second half of this season, it's not going to be an enjoyable one for us, bro. Big up, though. Let me see. I might attend with another phone. Huh? All right, big up, bro. Mikel Merino at number 9 is turning into R9 against Real Madrid. Oh, my days, bro. Mikel Merino, I saw that he scored again. I mean, look, that just might be the solution for Arsenal at striker, right? Maybe they might not even need to go out there and spend no money. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. But yeah, guys, I mean, look, I don't have a lot of time, and we do have a lot of stuff to get into, right? So keep getting your comments in there. I'm going to get back to you guys. But we do just got to kick things off, right? Now, the first thing that I want to talk about, Carlo Ancelotti, because according to a lot of reports, he is considering leaving Real Madrid at the end of this season. Now, we all know, I am Carlo out. We all know. I think Carlo should have been sacked after we lost to AC Milan in the Champions League this season. I mean, he's a legend. The guy has won everything that there is to win at this club. He is Real Madrid's most successful manager. But this season has been a disgrace. This season has been inexcusable with how poor we have played, with how shit our tactics have been. The lack of tactics, I should say, right? We've had individual brilliance carry us through this entire season. And I think it's time for him to go. I'm actually at the point where I don't really care what happens this season. I still want him going. Even if we win the treble, the first one in our history, I don't think he should be sacked, but I think he should step down. I think what we've been seeing has just been horrible. Defensively, all over the place. No substitutions, no tactical awareness. Literally, like, what would we be doing right now if our players just didn't have that clutch gene? Now, for anybody that's sitting here wondering, well, why would Carlo be considering leaving Real Madrid? So a couple of things that got brought up in the media was that, one, he's just getting tired, right? Like the wear and tear over the last 4 years at the club, right? Being at Real Madrid is a very demanding job, right? Where the expectations are for you to be at the top. Damn near every single season, you have to be winning trophies. So they're saying that there's some wear and tear there, right? Carlo isn't the youngest guy. Also, there are leaks at the club concerning his future, right? We see after games, they talk about how Carlo might be sacked. Oh, we're looking at bringing in Xabi. We're looking in Klopp situation, things like that. He knows that these leaks are more than likely coming from inside the club. And I think he's feeling like his job security is no longer there. And I feel like Carlo is a manager that would rather leave on his own terms than get sacked. And then on top of that, his son, David Ancelotti, who's our assistant manager, is leaving at the end of this season. So this can all play a factor into why he is considering leaving. On top of that, Brazil have just sacked their manager. Peter Griffin, man like Dorvio Jr., was out there stinking it up for Brazil. We know that the Brazil FA, they want Carlo Ancelotti. The World Cup is next summer. So he's going to have to make a decision soon. But I think Carlo should leave. Let this be your last season at the club, my guy. And again, even though I'm Carlo out, that doesn't mean that I don't want him at the club. I don't mind if Carlo stays and if he does like an ambassador role or if they have him doing something else. I just don't think that he should be our manager anymore. It can't get much worse tactically for us. You could go bring back Solari, let him be the interim manager, go get me Zidane, whoever, bruv. I don't care. Because this season has just been awful. This has been one of the worst seasons that I have seen from us. Like, I've never remembered a time where we've looked so vulnerable, where we've looked so lost in these games. It literally took extra time for us to beat Real Sociedad. This is the same Real Sociedad that lost to Manchester United. They conceded 4 goals to Manchester United. They got knocked out of the Europa League by Manchester United. And they almost beat us. They outplayed us every time we've matched up against them this season. Look at the games against Barcelona. They slapped us up 4-0 at home, 5-2 in the Spanish Super Cup. Look at the UCL this season. Lost to Lille, lost to Liverpool, lost to AC Milan. Carlo, the football has left you. It is time to retire or go to Brazil. Pick one. I think international football might suit Carlo a little bit more because in international football, you don't need to be a great manager with tactics. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have international tournaments, because you only get to coach these players a few times throughout the year, all that you got to do is just set them up and be a great manager. Just let these guys be motivated to play. But international teams, they don't have time to implement a style of play because the players are with their clubs more times than not. So you're only coaching them maybe, 4 weeks out of an entire season? That would be perfect. Carlo might be the manager that can bring Brazil back to greatness. But I think it is time for him to leave. Thank you for everything that you've done, but I've seen enough, especially when I'm watching Hansi Flick at Barcelona. This guy's come in, right? Barca were shit last season. Those guys did not win a trophy. They were awful. Xavi getting sacked. The club looked like they were in turmoil. And all that they did this summer was buy Megan Rapinoe, man like Danny Olmo from Leipzig. That's the only piece of business that they've done. And look at how they are playing. Look at how they are cooking. And I know that Carlo is not the only one to blame in terms of for why we've been so mediocre, right? I think that the board, them not signing any players except for Mbappe this summer was a disgrace. No defensive reinforcements. No Toni Kroos replacement. So the board is at fault as well, but it's much easier to get a new manager than it is to sack the president. than it is to sack some of these board members. The manager is always going to be the one that gets the most smoke. And to be honest, I agree. Carlo should hold the most smoke this season because despite the holes that we have in our team, there's no excuse for us to be playing this shit. We still have one of the best teams in the world. It's not perfect. But I mean, come on, bruv. You have to do better. Now, I don't think Carlo's going to be sacked this season in terms of during the middle of it. I think Carlo Ancelotti will be here until at least the Club World Cup. I think he'll do that tournament, and then hopefully he steps down. I don't want us to even sack. Let Carlo step down. Have some pride. I'm tired of this guy gaslighting us. Do you know that in a press conference the other day, Carlo said that he's happy with the football that we're playing? Brother, Stevie Wonder, Helen Keller can see that we're not playing good football. But yeah, man, let's see what goes on in terms of Ancelotti's future. We are still involved, right? There is a possibility that we can win the treble. We're into the Copa del Rey final. We're still in the La Liga title race. We're still in the UCL. But the odds of us winning all three of those, very slim with the football that we're playing. With how shit we've been tactically. Like, this is actually a disgrace. You would think that we're like Getafe or some shit. All these shaky wins that we've had this season. Nah, man. I know I can't be the only one that wants Carlo out. I'm appreciative for everything that he's done. But, brother, it is time. It's time, bro. Let me know what you guys are saying about Carlo Ancelotti, though. Should he stay or should he go? I think it would be nice to get a manager in that can just get more out of this team. A manager that's going to instill some balance. A manager that's going to be proactive, not reactive. Carlo is very reactive. But look, it is what it is, man. I know people are going to say, oh, how could you want Carlo out? Look at everything that he's done for you. And I acknowledge that. But it's no longer good enough. Like, this has been one of the worst seasons to watch in recent memory. Maybe since the 2020-2021 season when we went trophyless with Zidane. Like, this, so jarring. But I don't know. We will see. Let me see. This guy is a scrub. We lost 4-0 and 5-2. Those Barca fans have not seen a trophy for 10 freaking years. Whoa, they've seen trophies. I think that you mean UCL trophy, right, Mohammed? And I wouldn't say that Carlo's a scrub. He's just past his best. You know what I'm saying? Like, Carlo is like the equivalent of like Ronaldo right now, right? Ronaldo is 40 years old and he's cooking in Saudi, but you can see that Ronaldo is washed when he goes on international duty and he's kind of struggling when he's going against these better, younger defenders. That's just what it is. It doesn't mean that he's a scrub. He's just not what he used to be. Carlo doesn't have the aura anymore. He doesn't even do the eyebrow raise anymore. It's just gone. Let me see. Saliba and Dean. What the F? We have Rudiger and Raul. Now, I think that we do need two center backs, though. David Alaba must be sold. Eder Militao needs to be sold. Jesus Vallejo's contract expires. So that's 3 center backs that we should be getting out the club. So, yeah, I think that we do need 2 center backs. And Rudiger's 32 years old, going to be 33 next season, right? If I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, why not go get a Saliba and a Dean Huijsen? I don't see the problem with it. Let Saliba and Rudiger be the center backs, and then let Raul Asensio and Dean Huijsen be the 2 understudies. Let me see. Do you think he will leave this year or next year? Him and Xabi's contract ends in 2026. I think that he'll leave after the Club World Cup this summer, hopefully. Hopefully, bro. Carlo is a scrub tactically. Facts. Let me see. Nagelsmann isn't a bad shout, but you're not going to get Nagelsmann until after the World Cup. I need a new manager for next season, bruv. Nagelsmann, I doubt that he's going to leave Germany right before the World Cup. It just wouldn't make any sense. Vallejo's contract runs out. He's leaving at the end of the season for free. Now, you know what the thing is? It's not even about Militao not being the guy. The thing is, Militao has torn his ACLs in back-to-back seasons. He's not going to be able to be the same player that he used to. Militao used to be a very good player. But, bro, he tore his left ACL, tore his right ACL in 2 years. So you can't depend on him like that anymore. Do you think him leaving will impact Camavinga's future? No. I think there will be clubs interested in Camavinga, but I think it just depends on if he wants to leave. Camavinga's been shit this season. He's been awful this season. But I don't want to sell him. I think it's just a down season, but I think that he'll get back to his good form next season. Let me see. Carnage, if Barca win today, do you think Madrid can beat them? Yes. I'm always confident in my team, bro. Despite how shit we've been playing. Like, I'm always going to back us to win. Like, it's just what it is, bro. Like, I always believe that my players will be able to turn it around. But, guys, let me know what you are saying about Carlo's future in the comment section. Again, do you want him to stay or do you want him to go? And if you do want him to leave, what manager do you think should come in to replace him? Right now, funny enough that we're speaking about managers, because I want to talk about Jurgen Klopp. There have been links with him possibly becoming Real Madrid's next manager. Now, the question that I have before we start this segment is, do Real Madrid watch football, Carnage? Do you guys think that Florentino Perez is a subscriber to Football Carnage? Because when everybody earlier this season was talking about Xabi Alonso and other managers, I was banging on the door for them to look at Jurgen Klopp. This is my manager preference right here. He is my first choice. If Jurgen Klopp wants to come to Real Madrid, I would take him over Xabi Alonso. I would take him over any other manager that you might name me right now. Bring me Jurgen Klopp. I'm telling you, Perez, if you're watching the channel, join the Discord and private message me. Because some of the rumors that I'm seeing, I swear I started them on this channel. Nobody was talking about Jurgen Klopp. I think with the tactics that he employs, he would be perfect for Real Madrid. With the squad that we have, and then with Trent joining us next season, right? Trent will be here in the summer. Jurgen Klopp would absolutely cook at Real Madrid. And Liverpool fans, oh my days, if this happens right here, these guys might be on self-delete watch. Imagine that. Imagine me taking your greatest ever right back, your academy graduate, Liverpool born and bred right back, right? And now imagine me taking your best manager in your history as well. I think Jurgen Klopp is a very underrated manager. And to be honest, I prefer Klopp over Guardiola. Now, it's not because Klopp is better in terms of trophies won and legacy, but look at what Klopp did at Liverpool despite those shit owners. They barely backed him, and he won everything. He made Mo Salah world class. He made Sadio Mane world class. Fabinho. He's the one that made Trent Alexander-Arnold what he is today. He's the one that brought in Andy Robertson from where? Like Hull City, and made him world class. He worked miracles at Liverpool. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, he ran out of gas. He was too tired to continue at Liverpool. So why would he come to Real Madrid? Brother, coming to Real Madrid from Liverpool for Jurgen Klopp would be such an upgrade. He had to deal with FSG, who were stingy, who didn't want to spend money, who wouldn't give him all the tools to compete with Man City. Imagine how many more trophies Liverpool could have won if their owners would have just backed Klopp a little bit more, would have went out there and spent some more money. Literally, our team, chat, perfectly fits what Jurgen Klopp likes to do. If this guy would take a job at Red Bulls, he would take a job at Real Madrid. Stop it. For anybody saying that Jurgen Klopp would never take a... Stop it. Of course he would. If he wants to come back to managing. Remember, people think that he's retired. Klopp has not retired. He said that he's just taking 1 year off. Who else needs a manager? Who else? We need a manager. Barca don't need one. They got Hansi Flick. Liverpool, he wouldn't go back there, and they don't need him. They got Arne Slot, who's about to win the Premier League in his first season. What other big club needs a manager? PSG have Luis Enrique. I don't think he would go back to England to manage any of those other clubs. He wouldn't go to Germany. He wouldn't go to Bayern. This could be a great opportunity for him. Chat. The high pressing, right? The way that he uses the attacking fullbacks and how fast Klopp's teams play in transition, it would be perfect for Real Madrid. Let's actually break this down, right? Let's do it. I want to tell you guys how things will work underneath Jurgen Klopp if he was to come. Now, we know that he likes to run the 4-3-3. We saw it at Liverpool. Let's say the best version of Liverpool's Klopp, I would say, is the 2019-2020 season, right? The last time that they won the Prem. Now, I will literally break down for you guys how it can work with us. Now, next season, and we're only going to use Trent as the only transfer because I don't want to speculate on who else might come in. But Thibaut Courtois in goal. Right back. Trent Alexander-Arnold, right? Right center back. Raul Asensio. Let's just build it right now. And then we're going to get into the tactics of it. Rudiger. Let's say, let's do Fran Garcia. I think Fran Garcia would be a little bit better in this system. Actually, you know what? For the defensive capabilities. And actually, Mendy, when he's gotten forward this season, I mean, he had that little few weeks where he was cooking with the overlap. Midfield, right? Jude. Just bear with me, chat. We're about to explain all of this. Tchouaméni. Hold on, guys. Valverde. Again, this is the tactics that I think we can employ underneath Jurgen Klopp, going off of what he likes to do. Now, the front three is where it gets tricky. The front three is where it gets very funny, okay? Hear me out. Mbappe on the right. Vinicius left. And in the 9, chat, Rodrigo. Now, people might say, what kind of front three is that? Carnage, you don't know ball. What are you talking about? Rodrigo in the 9? What a stupid American. But if you guys paid attention to how Jurgen Klopp liked to play, let's talk about it. So it's more like a 4-3-3, right? Now, Tchouaméni could play that Fabinho role, the lone 6. And then you can have Jude, and then you would have Valverde in that Wijnaldum and Jordan Henderson kind of role. But obviously, right, Jude would be able to crash the box because even though Jurgen Klopp ran a 4-3-3, it was always more like a 4-4-2. Don't forget, Rodrigo, the reason that I'm putting him in the 9 is because he would run like Firmino. Remember, Firmino always dropped deep to receive the ball from the midfield. He was the guy that linked the midfield to Mane and Mo Salah. Don't forget, chat, Firmino was not an out-and-out 9. Firmino was more of a false 9, a 10, if you would like. And then by him dropping deep, which is what Rodrigo can do, it allowed Mane on the left to cut inside, right? It also allowed Salah on the right to cut inside because he'd receive the ball right here. He would draw the defense out. They would invert. Chat, are you following what I'm saying? Now, this would also allow Jude to make the runs into the box, right? Same thing with Valverde. But then we know that in that Klopp system, the fullbacks attacking is very important. So now, if Mbappe, right? Because again, I think Mbappe would be better on the wing underneath of Jurgen Klopp, because asking Mbappe to play like that deep role, like a Firmino, you're not going to get the best out of him. You got to use Mbappe's pace to get in behind that defense. This is why Rodrigo, who I believe is a lot better on the ball than Mbappe in terms of technical ability, would be perfect in that Firmino role. And then when Mbappe inverts, right, playing that Salah role, right, boom, Trent can run up and down this. And then this is where you're going to have to build chemistry, right? Because now Valverde would have to cover for Trent sometimes. So now Trent runs up. Just the same thing like what Jordan Henderson did. Are you guys following what I am saying, chat? Jurgen Klopp, with the team that we have right now, would be fantastic. He didn't play the best football, right? Jurgen Klopp wasn't out here playing sexy, attractive ball like what Barca do, like what Pep Guardiola was doing at Man City, but it was high intensity. That midfield that we have, this midfield 3, Tchouaméni, Jude, Valverde, they are engines in that midfield. They're not that technical. They would be perfect with the pressing, winning the ball back. This team, imagine this team in transition, chat. Imagine Vinicius, Mbappe, Rodrigo, Jude in transition. Bring me Jurgen Klopp. He is better than Xabi Alonso, right? And big up to Xabi. We all know, right? Xabi Alonso isn't the manager that I wanted initially. But I've opened up to Xabi Alonso coming in. But if you're telling me that I can get Jurgen Klopp, if he's interested, I would give him a 2-year deal. Let's run it. I'm telling you right now, Jurgen Klopp could win us the treble. He is a fantastic manager, and he's going to be backed. He's not going to have to struggle with a board that are not ambitious, like at Liverpool. Are you guys following the tactics? Look at the comparisons, right? Again, Trent at right back. Klopp, he made Trent Alexander-Arnold what he is today. Who do you think brought Trent through the first team ranks? Klopp. So let's talk about it again, right? For anybody that needs a quick recap, this is how I think we could line up underneath Klopp, a 4-3-3. This is what he did at Liverpool. But it's more like a 4-4-2 because I think Rodrigo will play the Firmino role. Firmino always dropped deep to allow Mane, which in this case would be Vinny, and then Salah, which would be Mbappe, to run inside, to get in behind the defense. And then we all know Rodrigo can play as a center forward. We've seen him do it. That would also give space for Jude to now crash the box, which is what he's great at, right? Valverde can also get a little bit closer because we know that his long-range shooting is very good. And then if Trent wants to overlap like what he did at Liverpool, Valverde can cover him like Jordan Henderson did. like Wijnaldum did. Let's say if Mendy or whoever the left back is, right? Because we are being linked to some guys that can play left back, right? We're being linked to Hincapié. We're being linked to Miguel Gutierrez. Those guys would start for us. If they overlap, Jude drops like he does anyways. The energy of this team, brother, Jurgen Klopp would fucking cook at Real Madrid. Understand this. To me, he is the best option that we could appoint if he wants to come. I'm not saying that he would definitely come, but for anybody thinking that Jurgen Klopp would not take a meeting with Real Madrid, you're an idiot. Why would he not take a meeting with us? But let me know what you guys are saying, man. Would you take Klopp at Real Madrid, or do you prefer another manager, right, guys? Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. Let me see. Plus, Klopp would allow Trent, Valverde, and Rodrigo to create a triangle for more solidity. Good point. Why no Camavinga? Camavinga has not played his way into the 11. And the thing is, I know why you're asking about Camavinga, bro. You are a what's it called? A Man City fan, right? And Man City are being linked to Camavinga. If you want to sign Camavinga, make a bid. If he wants to go, I'll sell him. And I think he'd probably be a good fit at Man City. But I don't think he'd want to go to you guys, just to be honest. But Camavinga's been so shit this season. I don't see how he breaks into the midfield right now. Camavinga's going to have to just come off the bench again. What exactly is Klopp doing at this? Something with Red Bull. I have no idea. He's not managing. He's in like the board or something. I don't know. Definitely would take Klopp, but I would like to see Unai Emery. I don't know about Unai Emery, to be honest. Maybe, right? I think like Unai Emery is a good cup manager. We know that he has a proven success record in European competitions. Yeah, I can see the Unai Emery shouts. But he wouldn't be my first or even second choice. Brother, we're not switching managers this season. We're talking about after this season, right? Because I believe that Ancelotti is done after the Club World Cup. Camavinga is better than Tchouaméni. Are you sure you watch football, bro? Camavinga is not better than Tchouaméni as a DM. Camavinga is better than Tchouaméni on the ball. I view Camavinga as more of an 8 because of how good he is with the ball, like in terms of his ball carrying and how, because again, as a 6, then we need him to sit back a lot. And I think that would just take away what Camavinga is good at. So me personally, I would not start Camavinga over Tchouaméni in the 6 role. Emery would cook? Yeah, possibly. Unai Emery isn't a winner, bro. What? Huh? Have you seen Unai Emery's trophy cabinet? What do you mean? I don't think he'd be my first. Again, he wouldn't be my first, second choice, but Emery's not a bad shout. Klopp is trash at defense and is a choker. Give me Xabi. Klopp is clear of Xabi Alonso. Xabi Alonso can't talk to Jurgen Klopp at this point in time. To say that he's a choker when he was going against arguably the best teams that we've ever seen in the Premier League and Man City, and he was doing it with an ownership that didn't really want to spend money, I think that is a bit harsh, bro, just to be very honest, dog. Go get me Jurgen Klopp, bro. He would cook for us. I think Klopp would be phenomenal. Phenomenal, chat. But yeah, let me know what you guys are saying about that. Now, I think that we do have to move forward because we got 3 other things that I want to get into, and I don't really have that much time, right? We got about like 15 minutes left. Big up the damn chat, right? Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, join the Discord, right? The link is getting put in the chat throughout the stream. If you see that Discord link, join it, right? Don't move like Gavi in midfield, okay? Move like Endrick in the Copa del Rey, okay? Move like an actual baller, all right? Don't be fraudulent, okay? But nah, big up everybody that's here, man. But let's move forward though, right? Let's talk about some transfer news now, because I saw this report and I actually couldn't believe what I was reading. And that is the links that we have with Bruno Fernandes, right? So according to the rumors, they're saying that Real Madrid are extensively scouting Bruno Fernandes' performances at Manchester United and are prepared to make a £90 million bid. They see him as the Luka Modric ideal successor. Now, this is not an April Fool's joke, okay? This came out before April Fool's. And when I first saw this, I had to make sure that my eyes weren't deceiving me. I had to make sure that I wasn't dreaming. I pinched myself. Let me tell you something right now. If Real Madrid make a bid for Bruno Fernandes, I will be Florentino Perez out. I think Florentino Perez might need to retire if we sign Bruno Fernandes, because I don't think he would have any idea. Like, I would have no faith in him anymore that he knows how to properly build a squad. Bruno Fernandes is mid. Do I think he's trash? No. I don't think that Bruno is as bad as everybody likes to make it seem. I think Bruno Fernandes is a good player for Manchester United. He's a liability, but he has been their best performer since he signed for them. Bruno Fernandes is the reason why Manchester United probably are not getting relegated this season, okay? He has been a good player for them. But would I take him at Real Madrid? Fuck no. 90 million. Are you kidding me? The Luka Modric replacement. Who made this rumor? Daily Star? I don't know what journalist at the Daily Star made this rumor. Fire him. I refuse to believe that this is true. And then Ruben Amorim's coming out and saying that he told Bruno Fernandes that he can't leave. Brother, we don't want him. Trust me. Nobody is going in for Bruno Fernandes. He can stay and retire at Manchester United. Where would he play? Bruno is not good enough to get into this midfield. What is this absolute waffle? So we're going to drop 90 million for him to hold bench? He's not better than Camavinga. He's not better than Tchouaméni. He's not better than Jude. He's not better than Valverde. I wouldn't take him over Ceballos. I wouldn't take him over Modric. I wouldn't take him over Arda Güler. I wouldn't take him over Brahim Diaz. So where is he going to play? Unless you're telling me, chat, that Bruno Fernandes can line up as a center back, a right back, or a left back, then I'm going to tell you, no thank you. Imagine that. I don't even have that much to say. Brother, we need defensive signings. I don't need an attacking midfielder. I don't need Bruno Fernandes. I don't need Florian Wirtz. I need right back. I need two center backs, and I possibly need a left back. Do not bring me a 10. I already told you what midfielder we need. And it's not somebody in these attacking areas. This is an absolute joke. Chat, we don't really even have to touch on this for that longer. 90 million. Bruv, if we drop 90 million and sign Bruno Fernandes, I would need Carlo to be voted out. Perez, sorry. Because the managers have no say. At Real Madrid, the manager has no say in transfers. The club buy who we want. We don't really, yes, we do talk to the managers to see what they're thinking. But at the end of the day, the person with the final say-so is Perez. So if we sign Bruno, it would 100% be Perez's fault, and I would need this guy to step down as president because you have lost the plot. Imagine Bruno Fernandes at the Bernabeu. Brother, Bruno is good if you like chaotic football. Maybe this season Bruno would have been good for us because we've been very chaotic But the issue that I have with Bruno is that he loses the ball too much in that midfield. Like, because he's trying to be the hero all the damn time. Now, Bruno does play better for Portugal, right? We have seen Bruno play or look a lot more stable when he is in a more controlled environment. But nah, no thank you. 90 M's is an absolute joke. My goodness. Now, chat, I don't have too much time, right? So I am going to read a few comments, but then we're going to move on really quickly because I only got like 10 minutes left, guys. Let me see. I mean, Bruno is absolute shit, but he has the creativity that the midfield is lacking. Yeah, but we don't need that kind of creativity. I'll tell you where our creativity can come from with the next topic. Bruno clears your whole midfield, but oh my days. You're somebody that only looks at games through SofaScore or FotMob or any of those other sites. You're a GA kind of merchant, aren't you? Imagine thinking that we'd want to spend 90 million on a midfielder that's over 30 years old. Oh my goodness. Nah, bruv, I think that Bruno would be a good fit for Bayern when I actually think about it, right? If you buy him, then you can literally move, right? You can move Musiala to the left. And then, right, from moving Musiala to the left, you can then play Bruno in the 10. You see how it just works for you, bruv? How many likes are we on, chat? Let's get those likes up. Let's get them up. Come on, man. Hold on. 1 second, chat. Let's get those likes up. All right. Now, let's move off of this story, though. Nah, bro, look, you need that creative spark, man. You guys can't keep relying on Serge Gnabry and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're not going to have time to get into the two stories that I want. So I'm going to only have to pick one. So we'll talk about Piero Hincapié on another Madrid hype, right? Maybe if we do one on Friday, I'll talk about Piero Hincapié because he is a player that we should be looking at, and we will get into that. But since we want to speak about midfield signings, I thought it only makes sense that the club are looking at Enzo Fernandez. Look, these links are not going anywhere, chat. If you do not see the light, if you do not think that Real Madrid should be looking at Enzo Fernandez, I think you are absolutely crazy. Enzo Fernandez is the Toni Kroos replacement. And let me tell you something right now. When I brought up the fact of this club has to be watching this channel, who was the first person on YouTube, a Madrid YouTuber, who was the first person that brought up Enzo Fernandez? I was saying Enzo Fernandez from last season when everybody was saying how shit he was. Now, before we get into it properly, the reports are there. The links are there. Whether you like it or not, where there's smoke, there's fire. We've been getting these Enzo to Madrid links from so many sources that there has to be something there. Now, according to the reports, it says that Enzo Fernandez would be keen on a move to La Liga this summer, with both Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid exploring deals to sign the Chelsea midfielder. Now, when I saw this first come up, I actually thought to myself, holy shit, Enzo to Atletico Madrid makes a lot of sense. They are Argentina FC. You got Julian Alvarez. You got the manager who's Argentinian. His son that plays there, Argentinian. You got Rodrigo De Paul, Angel Correa. It's about 5 or 6 Argentinians in that Atletico side. And I'm pretty sure that they talked to him about coming to La Liga to play for them. But I think if you're Enzo Fernandez, Real Madrid just makes more sense. I think a player of this profile should be the only midfielder that Real Madrid are scouting. Players that have an amazing passing range. Players that can create from deep lying positions. Chat, look at how our midfield has been this season without Toni Kroos there. Look at how we have nobody that's able to find our, let's say, even Lucas Vazquez now, because Dani Carvajal is injured. Like, nobody is there to find him on those overlapping runs. We have nobody that can make those pinpoint passes. I think people have to realize, right? Yes, is Enzo Fernandez a flop at Chelsea? Yes. Has he been mediocre in the Premier League? Yes. But that does not mean that he is not a good player. Enzo Fernandez, I think, would cook in La Liga. And I've said it before, and I'm not afraid to say it again. I think Enzo Fernandez is on the same level as a Pedri when it comes to passing from those deep positions. But because he plays for Chelsea, who have been mediocre since he got there, because he plays in a league where I think the tempo is a little bit too fast, people are ready to just write him off. Let's go into a hypothetical dream situation. Let's say if you take Pedri out of Barca, and let's say you put Enzo Fernandez in that Barca midfield, they would still cook. The drop-off would not be that much. Let's say if you put Pedri at Chelsea, he would struggle. I don't think that Chelsea are going to be able to, I don't think that Pedri would be able to handle the pace and the intensity of the Premier League. Some players are just suited to other leagues. Did you guys see over the international break the assist against Brazil that Enzo got for Alexis McAllister? Did you see that pass? That is what I'm talking about when I'm saying somebody then can create chances from deep positions. You guys know that Enzo Fernandez, I think, has created like the 4th or 5th most big chances in the Premier League. But Chelsea's attackers are wasteful. They don't have anybody that can finish aside from Cole Palmer. This guy is creating chances for Nicholas Jackson, for Jadon Sancho, for Madueke, for Pedro Neto. None of them are critical. Imagine Enzo Fernandez being able to find Vinny, Mbappe, Jude, Rodrigo, Trent when he overlaps. How many times last season did we see Dani Carvajal making a run on the right? Toni Kroos gets the ball and sprays that shit to Dani Carvajal to create something different in the attack. Come on, bro. I'm telling you, you guys will see the light one day. Now, the issue that we have is that Enzo Fernandez is at Chelsea, and this guy has a death row contract. I swear he has like 8 years left on his deal. So that would make it very difficult to get done. He would have to force the move. But I don't see why he wouldn't do so. I have no idea what Chelsea want to do. I can't tell if Chelsea want to be a contender. I can't tell if Chelsea want to win trophies or if they just want to be a spicy Dortmund. Because they've spent like 1.5 billion. But most of that, it's been on youngsters. I have an odd feeling that Chelsea are going to become a selling club. If they don't go into the summer market and buy a top striker, a top center back, because we know what they need. They need a new goalkeeper, they need a new center back, and they need a top striker. If they keep signing kids and ignore the positions that are needed, I don't think Chelsea are going to really become a serious club underneath this ownership. If you're Enzo, why would you want to stay at Chelsea if Atleti or Real Madrid are coming in for you? Now, I think, let's be very honest, it might be more likely that he joins Atleti because a lot of his international teammates are there. And we know that Atletico Madrid are not afraid to spend money. We've seen them drop big money. Enzo's a guy, Chelsea are never going to get their money back for him, right? They spent like 105 million. And don't forget, we were linked to Enzo before the World Cup and during it. But we were never going to match the offer that they put in for him because they overpaid. Enzo at that time was worth maybe 50 million. But because he had a fantastic World Cup and because Argentina won it, Chelsea overpaid for him. Anybody saying that Enzo is racist or he thinks, brother, Enzo is not racist. He's ignorant, not racist though. Right? We all know what it's like in Argentina. If you grew up in Argentina, they have a certain way of thinking. But you think if Enzo was racist, chat, let me ask you this. If he was racist, why the hell would he sign for Chelsea? Why would he want to be surrounded by all those black players 24/7 if he was racist? His teammates seem to love him. Come on now, people. Don't just listen to social media narratives. Enzo Fernandez is the only kind of profile of midfielder that I would want us to sign. Somebody that can play make from those deep roles. His passing is fantastic, but it would be a very hard deal to get done because of the length of his contract. But I'm telling you, chat, in La Liga, he would cook. So it is something to think about. But our midfield is packed at the moment. You got Jude, Ceballos, Valverde, Tchouaméni, Camavinga. Maybe we would need Modric to leave. If Modric stays, unless you sell like Camavinga or something, then there really is no room in that midfield at the moment. Ceballos is a player that I wanted sold. But the way that he was playing before he got injured, I think Ceballos should stay. But if Ceballos and Camavinga leave, if Modric leaves, then that does open up room for Enzo Fernandez to come in. And I'm telling you, especially when teams are playing a low block against us, when we struggle to break them down, he would absolutely cook. Trust me, chat, this is not going to be the last time that I talk about Enzo Fernandez because the links are going to keep getting stronger. And we're going to have to keep talking about it. But you guys know how much I rate him. I think Enzo is very talented. I think that he is one of the best eights in the world. I don't care what anybody tells me. I see the vision. Just because it's not working at Chelsea doesn't mean that I think he's a shit player. This is one of those guys who their stocks are low, and this is the right time to buy some Enzo stock. If he was at Real Madrid, if he was at a PSG, a Bayern, a Barca, if he was at even Atleti, people would be calling him world class. Understand this, bro. But I want to know what you guys think. Right now, I do have to jump. I have a meeting right now. So I'm not going to really be able to get into any more of your chats. But we will be live for a watch-along. It's going to be a hate-along, right? Barca versus Atleti, Copa del Rey, second leg. We will be here. Match reaction as well. And then we're going to have content coming out these next few days. We can talk more about anything that you guys want during that watch-along. But I do have to jump. I am running a little bit behind, right? Big up the damn chat every single time. I appreciate everybody that's in here. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel, right? I'm going to redirect you to, let me see. I'm going to redirect you guys to Rants, right? He's live with Saeed. So let them know in the chat, Carnage Raid, right? And again, join that Discord if you've not done so already. All right, guys? And yeah, people, in a bit, we will be back. The hate along. Do not miss it, people. But big up to you guys. Sorry that I couldn't get into more comments, but I do have to go. All right? And peace. Oh.